find that young people today, we all have like a similar, I wouldn't call it a problem, but a similar trait. We're all young, we all want fun, we all party a lot, we go to clubs, we go to places, and we all get induced by chemicals or alcohol or whatever. And it's all, in some weird way, a search for this something. And I keep on asking myself, what specifically is this something?
I think I've been in a search for something for a long time. Honestly, a couple of days ago, I was in my bathroom and Clayton had to stick his finger down my throat because I had swallowed lots of tablets.
If I don't really trust a guy in a long-term relationship, I can't, I think, experience emotional intimacy with men. Because like physical intimacy is easy, that I can get, and that satisfaction and pleasure is like arbitrary and that I can feel. But there's that certain sense, I can actually feel it physically in my body. I can feel that sort of stiffness. It's not a coldness, it's a tension, it's a vibration, it's like a thing that permeates through your entire body, and you just feel a deep lack of disappointment. Men normally, or the guys that I've been with lately, don't want to believe me when I tell them I am a virgin. Because like, although I've had like penises really close to my vagina lots of times, I am technically still a virgin. I don't want to glamorize the whole thing. I know it's not going to be like superb, what. But I just feel, fuck, the guy has to be like really impress me. The guy really has to like live up to my standards. Really, I must really love this person.
You meet someone and you think, this is it, this is great. I can't get any better than this. I want to be with this person for the rest of my life, and they'll help me through anything. And then, yeah, it just didn't happen that way. It was not the fairy tale that I hoped it to be. Last year I dated a guy named Matt. I fell pregnant and I had an abortion, but he dealt with the situation very, very badly. I can't tell you, that day I walked into the bathroom, took the test, walked out, and I was just like, my emotions just died, and they were dead until like this year. Really, it sounds completely surreal.
I remembered it in colours. Like, I couldn't, because it was so long ago. It was like when I was about 18 months till about 3, 4. And you know how little girls always adore their father and sit on their dad's laps and like, so sort of go through a phase when they're in love with their dad. And I never went through that phase. According to my mom, I always shunned my dad away, and when he wanted to give me hugs and stuff, I would sort of, go away, I always like shunned away from him. And the black was the bitterness, I think the brown was the hate. I just had this visual. I only started remembering it when I was 18, because I remember it was an intimate moment with my boyfriend, and what we were getting down with it, and I just all of a sudden freaked out, and I huddled into the corner, and I started shivering, and I started being, and I started crying, and I just sort of had flashes, and I don't know, I just was black in my mind, and I just sort of lost touch of reality, and I just freaked out, and I ran into my mom's room, and I just said, did something happen when I was a child with Dad? Because I think something happened. And then she freaked out a bit, and the next day when she wanted to talk to me about it, I denied everything, and I didn't want to talk about it until a year later. Every time she brought up the topic, I just burst out in some like anger fit and just didn't want to talk about it until finally she convinced me to go to a psychiatrist, and just like then the worms came out of the can.
Oh, this is my worst part of going out. I'd rather just bum around the house and not have to do this. Guys always think it's about them, and it's really not. Yeah, well, it's always nice when a random guy comes up to you and flirts with you, and like, I think that's what I miss most about being unattached, is because you feel obliged to hang out with whoever you're going out with. It's definitely picking up though. Like, varsity's going really well and Clayton's great, and my parents spoke to him properly for the first time last night, which was really nice. They sort of gave him a chance and just said to him, like, because obviously he knows what happened with me, just said to him, you know, just, we are very skeptical about Natalie dating again, which is, you know, I totally understand. Like, it's got to be hard for them, you know, because you want perfect kids and whatever, and it's not always what you get.
I'm scared. I'm so scared. I mean, I had a huge fight actually with my mom. She said she said it's more likely for a black guy to have AIDS than a white guy. I freaked out so badly to her about that, because like in certain communities, in rural communities, yes, because there are more black people, there are going to be higher like percentages of them having it because there are just more of them. But like with white people, you just never know. I mean, it's no race, no creed, no class. People just fuck around like rabbits these days, and they with the lack of care.
After Matt, I went for tests. My mom insisted. You sit there and you're like, oh my god, you know, I was again in tears. It was horrible, but yeah, thank God I'm okay. But it's the longest 10 minutes of your life. Clayton does so much for me, like, you know, just general things that I've never had dating people, like taking me out and spoiling me.
Love can actually work, and love does actually happen, and it is worthwhile to try.
What's love for you?
Everything. It gives you that extra spark in the morning when you get up. Gives you that extra smile when you look at yourself in the mirror quickly just before you leave the room. It makes you put on your shoes quicker. It makes you drink your medicine with a smile, you know, even though you don't really want to, because it helps you function. It's just that something to fall back on, you know, when everything's going shit, you know, oh, at least I have love. Love is everything. People say it over and over again, but they still continue on this chase. They say it's empty and they say it's hollow, but why do we keep doing it? Why do I, night after night, keep on dressing up, going out, having this awesome time, dancing, drinking? I think it's this search for fulfillment and this desperate search for happiness, and if we just accept that we are all similar and embrace our real individual uniqueness, that we will, I don't know, maybe be happy in the end.